down, slow it down.
All right, sweet, beautiful. All right, guys, this is Killer B. I am here with the Marauder himself, Mr. Dave. We are watching Sida versus Adventurers, game number 1. We are starting about 5 minutes into this game because it was broken in the middle and these players had to restart. So this is where we will start. This is the first we've seen of this game. We are going to see Sida, Bad Boy, Kuda, Zytene, and Heaven versus Sticky Fingers, Classic Pro, Hamster, and Warrior. This team that is not Sida is called the Adventurers, and obviously Sida is Team Sida. Okay, there you go. We are past the 4-minute mark already, so we won't see a restart. And let's work our way around the maps. First, let's look at the civs. Game 1 is Arabia Mirror Random Civ. So we will see Vikings, Byzantines, Celts, and Teutons for each team. If we look at the pocket players, it looks like it's going to be Sticky Fingers and, oh boy, I'm having trouble doing the math here. It looks like it's going to be purple and blue for one team. So that is going to be Classic Pro and Hamster. And on the other side, we will see Heaven and Kuda in the pocket. Mr. Dave, are you with me?
Yes, I am with you, indeed. What time of the game are you at?
I am at 7:48.
Okay, so I've slowed down. I'm slightly ahead of you, and I'll try and catch up with you. Or let you catch up with me, rather. But anyway, until we get to that point, I do notice that the difference in spots here, Sida does have a Viking flank, whereas the Viking player for the Russian team is in a pocket position, which is always nice, especially if they're going to go for a sling or something along that line.
Mm-hmm.
On the one side, we got Byzantines against Teutons, which is green against teal. I think that's a fairly even matchup there. Neither of those is really a powerhouse Arabia civilization. On the other side, we have Vikings against Celts, and I feel like Celts have the advantage in that battle. And then finally, we have Vikings against Celts in the pocket battle, and Byzantines against Celts and Vikings against Teutons.
Yeah, absolutely a good point. And so far we are just seeing drushes starting to come in. We can see the gray player here, Heaven, bringing in a drush. He's going to be countered somewhat by the militia built by the blue player. Going to get in some good damage and some good annoyance on the berries here, but he is eventually going to get pushed away by a counter drush. I did not see any boars stolen. We have seen incredibly active scouts throughout this tournament so far, but in this game I haven't seen it. It looks like just scout fighting at the moment for the most part. You can see that the gray player Heaven is walling himself in. As you said, the Vikings flank player is going to need, well, you didn't say he's going to need some aggression, but he's going to go with some aggression. He's going to go with aggression and wall up behind it. We can see the teal player coming forward with more aggression. Hamster here is going to have a tower rush. He's going to drop a tower right on the main gold there of Sida Bad Boy. Bad boys, what you gonna do? There is a drush to go with that, or a couple militia, I should say. And yeah, most players clicking to Feudal Age and getting this thing going. The teal player has not transitioned to stone yet, I wouldn't imagine. He is going to have Bad Boy's drush in his own base here relatively soon, but Bad Boy not having anywhere to really poke and prod at his opponent. The orange player here, Kuda, is marking Heaven, which is interesting. Not sure exactly why. But yeah, we will continue to work our way through this. Players just booming their way through the Feudal Age. We'll see how this tower aggression goes. You can see the teal player has built a tower up on that main gold. That's going to be a real annoying thing for Bad Boy to have to deal with here. He's also going to what? I don't know.
He's going to lame the berries. Look at this. He's trying to wall the villagers off from the berries. And he was trying to trap them in there so that his rush could take care of them. And it didn't quite work out, but he is going forward with a lot of aggression here.
Yeah, still has 3 militia forward. Now they are men-at-arms, 1 on low HP, but they're roaming around looking to do some damage. Looks like a unit was taken down there. Was that Bad Boy's villager?
That was a villager from Hamster. He had 5 villagers, and he sent one around. I think he didn't realize he sent it with the militia, and it died painfully.
What do you think about this aggression? Traditionally in 4v4 we don't see that much feudal aggression. It seems like you often lose more momentum than you gain. What do you think about this one?
I kind of like this one because you look at where the goldsmith is from green, and teal has seen that. There's the two golds are forward, and then his main gold right there. So he's taking out his main gold. And green doesn't have very many options to go to here. He's going to go out and actually batter down the tower from teal. Because he knows how important it is to take that out.
Yeah, so rushing down the tower, as you said, is Bad Boy here. Bad Boy may be the top player in Sida. At least he's the player that I've seen the most of. And maybe slowing him down a little bit more is really important for the adventurers to have a shot here in Game 1. Bad Boy is going to go ahead and rush this tower down. People starting to click up to the Castle Age. We do see the scout of Classic Pro as well in the action. But yeah, that tower is going to go down. A couple of those vills under pressure, certainly a whole lot of lost villager time. Bad Boy's going to lose a vill on the front, but probably not 2 for now, I wouldn't imagine. Sending some skirms out to...
He's going to lose 2, I think. Maybe.
Oh,
it's
yeah.
It's going to be close.
That 1 vill on 4 HP.
He's running away now. It seems weird that you would build a tower like that in such an exposed position and not even wall it in. When he had 5 villagers coming in, but it looks like green might actually get a vill trapped here.
Yeah, the green player is going to take a lot of damage on that vill. There are a lot of villagers forward here for Hamster. Hamster's got a couple sheep from Bad Boy. One would presume on the front there that he has... so he's starving Bad Boy a little bit of some of his food. He's also taken away his gold, at least for now. Bad Boy backing up and building a tower of his own in front of that main gold.
Oh, geez, and I noticed the Drush from Bad Boy actually managed to trap a villager on the wood line from Teal. And he can't actually go to that wood line anymore. He has no wood at the moment because of that Drush. So good job by green to kind of counter the tower push and do some damage to Teal as well. And Teal's in a bad spot right now.
He's just going to leave those militia right out at the lumber camp there. We can see Hamster right now is heading back with 2 vills, but I don't know if he has the gusto to take on this fight. He's going to take it for a second. Yeah, those vills are going to have to retreat. So taking stone on the front there is Hamster, who is now building a tower of his own and in defense, but he's going to lose a villager here on the front to the scout of Zytine. So the intense aggression here from Hamster may not really be getting the job done. But
look at the tower from Bad Boy that's going to go up on the wood line from Teal.
Oh, very nice. Bad Boy going a little tit for tat here. He's going to go 5 villagers forward and drop a tower of his own. You don't mess with Bad Boy. You don't mess with him. He's going to drop a tower right on the edge there.
I don't think it's going to get up, though. Or if it gets up, it's not going to last very long because Teal's coming forward now.
Yeah, he's got 5 skirms with him, but not enough to deter all of these villagers from the Teal player. So we have a full-on villager war here early in this game. Tower and villager war going on is very intense. Blue player, Sticky Fingers, starting to get up some archers. The gray player here is walled in. Looks like orange in the pocket is starting to boom up on more TCs, but for the moment, the aggression is between Hamster and Bad Boy, and they are in a full-on villager/tower fight. First knight coming in now from Classic Pro, and it is a timely knight. This knight is going to be able to get in so much damage because the villagers from Bad Boy have to run, I don't know, several kilometers back home. He should really get that knight involved in getting villagers. He's going to. He's going to get that back in play, but a couple spears coming forward, so he may not get another vill. This is an interesting game. You can see the Teal player Hamster is now coming forward to either rush down the tower of Bad Boy or build a tower of his own. Not sure which at the moment. Zytine's first knight is in, and that is going to make the Teal player here have to run off from this. He's also taking arrow fire from a single archer. He really needs to retreat off from that. Can't rush that tower down just yet. On the other side, Vic Warrior and Sticky Fingers have a knight/crossbow combo. The purple player, Classic Pro, starting to reinforce knights inside the base of his teammate in Teal. And yeah, for the moment, it is a bit of a posturing war. Lots of villagers down there from the Teal player, Sticky Fingers, who is on 28 vills at the moment. Bad Boy is doing quite a bit better by the looks of it. Oh, I got text in the way, but I think he is on 30. 37. Yes, he is. Okay.
He's on 38 villagers to 29 right now, and that's kind of... That just shows how many villagers Teal committed to going forward. And he had his TC idle for quite a while there.
Yes, certainly committing a lot to that aggression. And like we said, you know, it's often a fast castle-ish build, maybe with a Drush alongside it, in these 4v4 games, because if you don't land a knockout blow, which the Teal player didn't, you're going to have the nearest teammate in your area with Knights. Right now, the nearest teammate, Zytine, is actually losing to Classic Pro as far as Knights go. But you can see that Bad Boy has a little bit of a makeshift army of his own. Quite a few spears and skirms over there. So for now, Classic Pro is going to be relegated to defense, trying to keep this tower up from Hamster. And that tower could be an anchor for them. It could sink them this game. Purple player is running across for now. The red player Warrior is Xing his Knights that are in the back of his area from Kuda. Kuda is going to be actually running into Sticky Fingers area, but not quite enough Knights there to get the job done. You can see purple player heading to the pocket with 2 wolves in tow. The gray player having crossbows on the front but in defense. And what is the villager count like right now? It seems like Vic Warrior on 43, Sticky Fingers on 42. As we said, Hamster's way behind. Classic Pro's a little bit behind. Zytine is on the highest villager count, and the second highest villager count is his teammate, Kuda. So the Sida team here having an economic advantage. Go ahead.
Bad Boy lost a lot of villagers on that forward gold. He lost about 5 villagers while he was walling up the back of his base against the Purple Knights, and Purple came forward and took a bunch out around his tower there.
You know, this is really nice because I think you're still about 30 seconds ahead of me, which makes it perfect. By the time you tell me to look somewhere, I'm looking to see the villagers dying.
I'm adjusting this thing.
No, it's perfect
all game because I think I run a bit faster than you, so I'm trying to stay with your time right now.
Yeah, so Classic Pro with a nice attack there. Sent in enough Knights to get the attention of his opponent, and while he had his opponent's attention, he cleaned a whole bunch of villagers on the front. And that was a necessary thing to happen right now. That is going to bring Bad Boy and Hamster near each other in villager count, both still in the feudal age. And that's really going to breathe new life into the Adventurers team. Adventurers team's going to have 2 towers up in series on that stone pile. That will deter both of these armies from the green and yellow player. So at the moment, teal and purple are doing pretty darn well on that flank. On the other side, we do see Knights and crossbows still massing up, but not a whole lot of aggression just yet. Seems like right now, Classic Pro is has the offensive force on the field. He's got quite a few Knights out. If we look back at his base, he is on 2 TCs at the moment, and he is going with 3 TCs, and he's going with aggression. Those Knights are now going to head maybe to the yellow player. Maybe we're going to see an actual fight that is not in Bad Boy's territory. For the moment, it does look like Hamster and his teammates are going to take a little bit of risk and leave this stone pile wide open. These Knights in this makeshift army from Bad Boy and Zytine could certainly go in and crush that whole area. Meanwhile, Sticky Fingers has quite a few crossbows on the front, 7 damage on those. The Knights that are in tow from Vic Warrior have +1 defense, and they will be fighting uphill, but they'll be fighting with potentially better numbers. We'll have to see whose micro is better in this fight. In the meantime, Purple Knights roaming around toward the yellow player Zytine. They are going to clean up some juicy vills. Looks like that fight on the front between blue and red is not going to happen just yet. But yeah, they're going to run through and grab a few vills on the stone from the yellow player.
Meanwhile, Bad Boys in Castle Age and Hamster is not close as of yet. He might be clicking up in the next minute or so, but I think the advantage over there is going to really shift towards Bad Boy and his teammate Yellow.
Yeah, Bad Boy is, as you said, just hitting Castle now in my time zone, and we have not seen the player Hamster click up yet. We do see a very nice army from Sticky Fingers and Warrior roaming through the orange base right now, trying to get in some damage. Market coming up for the orange player. I would have liked to see a Siege Workshop here at some point. Could do a whole lot of damage to all those crossbows. Meanwhile, purple player is on the defensive, but not in a way that he wants to be. As you said, Bad Boy with a bit of a villager advantage. He's also sending his makeshift army of feudal archers, which will not be crossbows just yet, and a couple of spearmen as well forward, and there are just 5 Knights in defense from the purple player, who is much more focused on hitting Zytine as much as he can. Hitting Zytine is going okay for him, but I don't think he's delivering the type of damage that he maybe wants to. Meanwhile, green player Bad Boy is actually, nope, this is Heaven. Heaven is over here in gray. He is going to bring his crossbows within range, and they're going to take a fight against the blue player Sticky Fingers on a hill with a meat shield from Kuda. This has to go well for the blue player, you would think, on that hill, but I can't tell whose Knights are whose because we are looking at orange versus red. It does look like there were quite a few more of those orange Knights, and they're going to clean up the entire army here from Sticky Fingers.
Yeah,
Horrible
problem
fight.
is he got himself isolated there. There was nowhere to go once he picked that fight there. Got
Mm-hmm.
way too far in, and Orange and Gray could reinforce. And that's a really bad fight for the Russian team on that side. Because now they can go forward and start to try and raid the Russians.
Yeah, very, very good fight from Sida there, and they are going to have the great player here building a siege workshop. They're going to have some momentum on that flank. They just cleaned up really the bulk of 2 different armies in that fight. Meanwhile,
look at Bad Boy though. Sorry,
go
Bad
ahead.
Boy managed to sneak all the way around the armies from Purple and Teal, and he's going to go into Purple's base now and cause quite a bit of problems in there.
Yeah, he is roaming around behind Purple, and although there are knights to respond to this, those knights are not going to do so terribly well against, you know, Sida. Bad Boy here has quite a few pikes in play. He should be okay. This should be a... He's certainly keeping the attention of the Purple and Teal player now, which is more than enough, because his teammate in yellow, Zytine, is just building up knights up the wazoo, and he's not being pressured at all. Zytine has no pressure. He doesn't need to help his teammate because his teammate is distracting 2 different armies right now. That fight is going to go down right now. Purple player deleting quite a few buildings to get in, and he is going to clean this up pretty quickly. And reinforce with a few more knights here, and he's going to win this fight very easily.
I think that accomplished what Bad Boy wanted it to, though, because I think he wanted to draw all the armies away.
Mm-hmm.
So he managed to pick off a few villagers, and he managed to draw them away. Yellow isn't being harassed really anymore, and he's got quite a nice boom going on. Meanwhile, on the other side, wow, Red is kind of cleaning up. He's going to clean up some of the archers from Gray.
Yeah, both teams going in with the knights for the other team's archers. It does look like... it's hard to tell with orange and red here, but it does seem like Sida has the numbers, but I'm not quite sure. We will let this one unfold as it does. Blue crossbows just kind of, you know, trying to run back and get in more fire, but right now they are really dwindling in number. So are the gray crossbows. This one might end in a bit of a stalemate. It does seem like the orange player here, though, does have the most knights.
There are 2, I don't know if you're there yet, but Sida Heaven has actually clicked up to Imperial Age as Vikings. And he really kind of stopped full production of crossbows to do that, but he's laying down some more archery ranges now, and we're going to see some arbalists and probably siege rams once he gets up to Imperial Age, which would be quite tough for the opposite team to stop if they can hold on to that point.
Yeah, so I have Heaven about 75% up to Imperial. I have Zytine about 25%. Sticky Fingers about 5% up to the Imperial Age. So yeah, we are going to see an Imperial War here. Sida with a bit of an advantage there, as you were saying. They have 2 players who will be up relatively soon. Fight on the front right now between the Purple Knights. They are again back in defense, trying to clean up Zytine, who is doing the same thing that his teammate just did. Now that we know that... that the Sida guys are kind of getting up and going to Imperial, we are seeing Zytine running those knights in as maybe a distraction for the Purple player. He's going to come forward with double barracks. I'd really like
to see him save those, though, considering he is almost up to Imperial Age. So we're seeing him drop more barracks in the middle. Okay, so he probably doesn't plan on going Cavaliers as Celts, so he's just going to go Halberdiers, and I guess he figures he can use those to distract Purple until he gets up to Imperial Age himself.
Yeah, and it's working so well. The Purple player is sending everything he has back to crush this because he wants to have a really good fight against those knights and get them all in one fell swoop. In the meantime, 2 barracks in the middle, 2 more barracks back at home, a 3rd barracks coming. So we are going to see some spam here from the yellow player Zytine. Pikemen now, as you said, they will be upgraded as we go. Meanwhile, the other side seems to still be a bit of a stalemate. Blue player with a castle up on the hill. He's going to have a mangonel in defense, a couple of pikes.
But look on the left-hand side. We have capped rams coming in from Gray. Gonna kill the production buildings, and if he can get his arbalists over there to support them, he needs to get his arbalists over there because otherwise Red can just go over and take those capped rams out with his knights.
Yeah, this is a really bad situation for Heaven because he's got 4 arbs in the vicinity of this fight and a couple of skirms. He's trying to reinforce it now, but 5 capped rams here and quite a few knights. You know what, though? Warrior is not responding right away. Warrior is patrolling around the front still, not heading in.
No, he had an opportunity to take all of those out, and he missed it, and now it's too late because arbalists are coming in now.
You know, the purple player gave up on Zyteen's Knights. They were roaming around in the back, maybe in the fog of war, and he just gave up. And now they are raiding him.
That's an aggressive castle from Gray in the middle of Blue's base. And Blue is getting onager as we speak.
Oh, I don't think I'm there yet, but I see the villagers coming. I see villagers coming forward, hammers in their hand. Where is that castle? Where is it going to go?
And that is a ballsy castle.
Sida Heaven here with
a manages to get it down.
With a mentalist type of ballsy castle. Yep, it is right in the middle. That castle is just now started
and
on my timing.
Look at the onagers there. It's making me nervous. Those onagers around there. It's making me really nervous.
Oh, I'm not quite there. You're talking about the blue onagers. Blue onagers on the other side near the other castle may roam in. Man, quite a few arbs and quite a few rams here. Here come the knights from the red player. Here comes the blue player with onagers on the way. Quite a few pikes as well. The castle is not quite up. It's about 70% up. Onager shot could come in big here, and I think it will. So many arbs just hanging out, waiting, and right now, there's the first shot. Okay, second shot kind of misses as well. Gets a decent shot, gets a couple of decent shots in here. Should be able to deny. Oh, he won't deny the castle. The castle will come up just at the last moment. Orange player able to keep things alive with his knights. He is going to grab down those onagers. They did do some good damage, but not the epic shot that we were looking for. And that castle stands in the middle of Sticky Fingers' base, as well as several knights and several arbs behind it. So that is going to be a big problem for the blue player here. Man, the ballsy castle pays off.
It really, I don't know how it got up, because I swear all the villagers were dead. It was like one last villager with that hammer. And the thing I notice right now from Blue is his economy is a mess. He has about 20 like idle villagers where his gold used to be.
Oh yeah.
And he's got some lumberjacks. Most of his farmers are garrisoned, and other than that, he doesn't have much of an economy to speak of, and that's not very good for an Imp Celts player.
Yeah, the blue player's in trouble. The one redeeming quality is that he has a treb up. There are no villagers in the vicinity of the gray castle to repair. There's two. So that castle could eventually go down, but here come arbs to clean up all those vills. Those vills were not working. They're going now to try to find some work to do, but man, oh man, he is going to get hit hard by maybe 20 arbs from the gray player on the back of his base.
And on the other side, purple just put up the castle, but it's going to get rammed down. We got some capped rams coming from yellow.
Ah, yes. Yeah, and I've seen the GG already over here. Writing is on the wall, and it looks like Sida will take game number 1 of this set. A pretty interesting game. The early feudal aggression didn't pay off, but it's not really fair to say that it was a bad idea, because in the moment, if you're Hamster, maybe you're thinking, I can distract Bad Boy, who is like a 2K rated player, with some aggression here early, and maybe my team will have a better shot. It didn't work out, but I mean, you know, hindsight's always 20/20. Military stats in this game, it does look like Heaven had the most kills. Largest army was also for Heaven. Sida team went with a little bit more economy. They went to Castle Age on average faster, and they, in the end, got the win on the backs of good economies and taking good fights. Nice aggression, though, from the Adventurers team, wouldn't you say?
Yeah, I mean, the thing I didn't like about Teal's aggression, I thought it was a great move, because there was 2 golds forward there, and there was the main gold, and he saw all of them. But he didn't wall in his first tower. He left it right in the middle of nowhere, and then he didn't make really anything else as he pushed into green. So the aggression was kind of pointless. Once you built the tower, he brought 5 villagers in, but he didn't make any other buildings. So it was just a lot of idle time and not much damage to Bad Boy.
Yeah, I think he saw something that he could go for, and he went for it. These guys probably, I don't know, they went with a bit of a Hail Mary early here, so they probably feel like they are significant underdogs. I know they're not they are underdogs, but they must be thinking maybe they're bigger underdogs than we thought they were. But game number 2 will be their home map. So the Adventurers team will have a chance here to maybe score a win. We've seen teams, I don't know how many of these sets you've seen, Dave, but I've seen a couple of sets where the underdog team just has a really good strategy in game number 2, and they jump all over it. And because they've choreographed it, they're really efficient, and it gives them a really good chance to win.
I'd love to see something like that. I mean, this team isn't bad. The Adventurers team, it's not bad. So they're probably not going to go for an absolute desperation strategy, but I'm sure they've practiced a map as a team, and they have something original to combat these Vietnamese guys with. And hopefully this next wreck will be on the same time. Mine was running a bit fast last game.
We should be good this time, since hopefully we'll be good this time. So I have wreck number 2. Do you want to take a minute and get some water or something, or do you want to jump right into it?
I don't drink water.
You drink.
Yeah, I exist solely off the despair of my enemies. Or something like that, I don't know.
Oh man.
I know, it's dark.
Everybody's chanting Canada now in the chat. On behalf of your comment.